Real Talk with Sherry Mistowski.
Hi, I am Sherry Mistowski. I'm so glad to see you here. I am the founder and broker of record for Horizon Lending Services, and today, a very special surprise, we have the infamous Tim Driscoll on board with us. He is from Colorado. Tim, welcome.
Nice to be here, Sharon. My name's Tim Driscoll. I'm a broker with Rebag CFW Associates, and I also practice real estate law in Colorado prior to moving here.
So today what we want to talk about specifically, we've had a lot of interest in when individuals get divorced in the areas. Tim, talk to me a little bit about when someone goes to the divorce, how can you as a real estate broker and a prior attorney help someone in that situation?
Well, first of all, it's very important going through a divorce to have all your documents and your divorce decree in place, so there's no question about who owns what. At the marital property that can create a lot of confusion, a lot of extra attorney's fees, and can be very difficult. Whereas if things are in line, that it can go smoothly and there's a lot less stress.
So would they come to you first, or would they go to a divorce attorney first to get all the ducks in a row? Did they come to you for that home buying experience and then possibly for a new purchase? How does that work?
Well, hopefully their ducks are in a row somewhat through their existing lawyer going through a divorce. However, if they come to me, we can help them navigate through all the issues with the divorce, hopefully keep it amicable, because once it goes crosswise and lawyers get involved, can keep through it.
So what Tim is saying, from what I'm hearing, what I think I'm hearing, Tim, is that when you go through the divorce, just make sure that you're represented appropriately, that you guys have come to terms on who's going to be getting what. Tim will step in to successfully represent you in selling your home to make sure that everything is copacetic. He can also take it one step further and represent you in buying a new home if that happens to be in the cards.
That's key.
So another question I get a lot of questions on is, why do I have to have a real estate agent or a real estate broker representing me, especially if I'm going to go buy a new home? Can you talk to us a little bit about why someone wants to be represented even when they're buying a new home?
You mean in new construction?
Instructions.
Well, absolutely. I think it's very important to have an agent, a seasoned, qualified agent involved, because I work a lot with new construction builders, and we are able to protect our clients, get a lot of additional things in a home they're buying, such as backsplash, coloring, carpets, upgraded appliances. So, and also the big thing is negotiate price. If you're represented by a good agent, you will get a better price on a new home.
So a lot of people ask me, well, if I go out there without an agent, I'm probably going to get a better price, only because they don't have to pay the agent's commission. Have you found that to be true, and how do we overcome that?
I had not found that to be true. I mean, some builders will represent buyers, hey, if you don't go through an agent, we can get you a better price. But I've found that I've been able to negotiate the price down enough to where they come out ahead using an agent, and also their interests are protected. And I work with them throughout the whole process of construction, periodically going through the home, doing checklists. Prior to closing, we do a walkthrough. Every little thing that needs to be corrected, even a scratch on the wall, we make sure is taken care of prior to close.
I know a lot of agents do come to me and they ask me, well, do I really need a real estate agent with a new home build? Tim has successfully responded to that, and I hope everybody understands how important that is. And being an accountant by trade, I do know that they do have a marketing budget in place. So whether they spend that on a real estate agent or not, that money is going to be there and be available for you, the home buyer, for that allocation. Another thing, as a mortgage broker, we have found that if you go to the builder's mortgage company, they do tie incentives into that. Unfortunately, that's not something I can probably negotiate, but Tim, on the other hand, can work with you to make sure that your best interest is protected.
Absolutely.
So Tim, I know through the process of this, talk to me a little bit about your most difficult client, who that was, what it was, and how you overcame that. These are just little antics because we like to have fun with this too.
Oh my gosh, I've had a lot of difficult clients. Some people I'd worked with for years. Some people You get right to closing and they back out. So it's just so
They get their earnest money back when they do now?
hard.
Do they get their earnest money back when they?
And they will not. But there have been some doozies out there, I can tell you that.
And tell me the weirdest thing you've seen going into a house as you're shopping property.
Well, I'm not sure I can say that.
Can you allude to something?
Well, it's always,
We need some meat here.
you want to make sure that people are dressed when you enter a home. That's,
Typical people have not been dressed with European
yes, it's been very embarrassing. Yes.
That's pretty funny. I know on the mortgage side, we don't get to see fun stuff like that, but I can't tell you during the appraisal process and some of the pictures that come back, some of the pictures have been pretty disgusting and very unwarranted. Unflushed toilets or, being strewn about, leftover dishes, really gross stuff, Playboy magazine, vibrators sitting on the countertops. It's been pretty incredible things that we see in appraisals. I can't even imagine what you guys see.
I will say, just using a real estate agent on the buyer side or selling your home is very important. Agents, a good agent will listen to you and share what you need to say, what your wants and parameters are for purchasing a home, and then going out and finding homes on the MLS that fit your parameters. You don't waste a lot of time. And when you decide to purchase a home, a good realtor will stay with you through the whole contract process, negotiate a great deal on the home, and then you go through the inspection, and then you negotiate the inspection and often get a lot of repairs done, and then go through the title work on home.
Tim, who pays for the inspection?
The inspection is paid for by the buyer.
Okay, is that always the case?
Always the case.
And inspection is different than the appraisal, correct?
Correct. The inspection costs $600 to $800, but I've never had a client that has gotten that twofold, threefold through with the inspection findings. So that seller will do to take care of the repair.
And you do those on new home buildings as well?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Numerous inspections. And then you do what's called a repair amendment, give that to the other agent. This is during the option period. And the sellers, and they review it, and then you negotiate repairs prior to moving forward contract.
Thank you for that. And talk to you a little bit about right now the interest rates are coming down. They're much more favorable than what they were. Talk to us about the market right now. What are you seeing? What do you think is going to happen in the next 6 months in our industry or market?
Well, I think the market is still quite strong in North Dallas and all the communities surrounding. People are not quite aware of the great financing they can get through someone experienced like you and your company. So there's still, we need more inventory for sale on the market. And I think this spring we're going to see a lot more homes coming on the market. We're seeing sellers negotiate more. So it's not multiple offer situations and all these transactions. So it's very positive for the future.
And what is your opinion about some of these higher ticket homes, like over the $1 million price point? They're coming down 10 and 50%. What is causing that?
Well, I think we had a huge run up in pricing where property values doubled in 2021. So everybody, a lot of agents, I think, priced homes at way above what's reasonable. And now we're seeing that settle down. And even the higher end homes, we're seeing more negotiation.
How is that going to impact appraisals? Because if somebody bought a home like in 21, the appraised value came in like an example, like 1.5. And so now they're buying a home, they've dropped the price. How is that going to impact the appraisals?
Well, it will impact the appraisal industry. So we have to work around that. But they're not, the bottom's not plumbing out the high-end market. So often we're not seeing the 8 to 10% appreciation a year, but more of the pricing is leveled out, and most appraisals come through for that.
So Ted, it's now a good time to buy a home, or should you wait till summer?
I think it's a great time to look now. Start looking now. It's going to take 30 to 45 days to close on a home. We're seeing more inventory come on the market daily, and now's a great time.
Do people have to go through you, like to search the MLS, or can they just go directly to like a realtor.com or Zillow? Or are you seeing things that you have access to that maybe they don't? Is it important to contact you for that?
Well, I encourage people to look on Zillow, and everybody looks on Zillow. And But what we can do is get specific information about homes they may like, and I could speak with the listing agents and get the scoop on properties, and also provide in-depth searches for homes with their parameters of work.
What's a pocket listing? I keep hearing about pocket listings. Where are those?
Pocket listing is a listing that a real estate company may have, but it's not actively on the MLS. Often we sell homes prior to them hitting the market. So it's always good to speak with us to see what we have kind of under the table that we can provide to the buyer.
Perfect. Thank you. And what I'm hearing here, that it's still a great time to open up, go out and kick some tires, look at properties. Tim can absolutely help you. Tim has a very strong past in ranch properties. He came from Colorado. Can you tell us a little bit about what your specialty was in Colorado and why you have such an admiration towards ranch?
Well, I actually grew up in Kansas and managed ranch and farm properties with my father for many years, and actually managed properties that my parents passed away. So I have a really good feel for what kind of income people can get out of a ranch property or even a farm, what the numbers are, how to negotiate people leasing your property for any reason. I think it's important for ranch properties. You don't have to buy a huge acreage, but you have to back up to a national forest or government land, so you could have much more land that you actually lose and recreate on. And I just love that end of the business, and it's just a beautiful country. It's rural properties fun.
And here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you may think, rural properties, do we really have rural properties? Well, the answer is yes. Starting with, I think it's Richards, and maybe if you go out towards Terrell, the Tyler, Smith County area, you have beautiful properties out there, and Tim can absolutely assist you with those. This is not something that most people can do or want to do because they really don't understand the dynamics of a ranch type property. Is that correct?
That's correct. And I will say, most of the growth is going straight north of Dallas. So we've got Plano, Frisco, Prosper, Salina, and then on up toward Lake Texoma. And that's where a huge amount of growth is going. So not only are these properties fun to recreate on, but they are super investments and easily usually double in value within 10 years.
That's an awesome opportunity for us. So if you're sitting on the bench, you want to get out there and kick some tires and see maybe some properties with some land. I know that there's an area out there called Pilot Point in Gunter. You could really get a lot for your money out in those areas. That's still in Collin County, is that correct?
That's in Denton County.
Denton County.
And there's some beautiful horse-type properties out there, nice homes, large barns, often a pond, and just beautiful countries.
And Tim, you grew up in Kansas, but you were in Colorado, where you took that expertise from Kansas and you sold ranch property in Colorado too. Is that correct?
I did. I always sold a lot of ranches and farms in Colorado, and often we go to Montana and Wyoming, so we'll see.
He ain't Texan. He's pretty damn close.
That's right.
That's right. And let me go on record and say, guys, that when we're out there, you're looking for properties, interest rates are coming down, and we still have the 3-2 low buy down that's available for most borrowers. We also have first-time home buyer down payment assistance available for you. If you do get in the rural area, we do have a USDA loan, which is 100% financing for rural properties. And if you're looking to construct a home, Tim can help you with the land purchase. We can actually give you a one-time closed construction loan for that. So there's still so many opportunities available for you. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or second or third, we have you covered.
And also, my mention, there's a lot of sometimes anxiety about selling your new home without having your existing home, without having a new home. And there are many ways we can structure it so you can sell your existing home, lease it back to the purchaser, and give you plenty of time to go out and find a new home, or just make it a comfortable process so it's not a lot of anxiety.
That's a really good point, because we can also do something called a bridge loan. A bridge loan is where you found your property, you haven't yet sold your home. This gives you the opportunity to go ahead and purchase the home of your choice while you're preparing your home for the market. It's called a bridge loan. I give you financing for the new home without consideration of your existing home. It's a great opportunity. So if you do find something, you find something sooner than what you had anticipated, this is a great option for you.
Another good option is when selling your home, if you have a contract on it, extend the closing date out, say 60 days, which buyers are usually fine with, and that gives you plenty of time while the property's under contract to secure a new home.
Perfect. And just to finalize on this, the divorce things, Tim, we have so many people coming to us right now with, we have a client right now, it's a mutual client that we have, and in the divorce decree, the ex-spouse got the home, she's trying to buy a new home, the ex-husband was supposed to refinance the home, so it's causing a little bit of hiccups. It's causing a couple of months late on their property, but we were able to solidify her a new home, work out the details, and she's able to move in successfully. So that's just one opportunity that you have that you may not know is available.
So, and I've worked with Sharon on a number of these type of transactions with divorce proceedings, and being creative as her company is, that we're able to work through a lot of these difficulties because often there's a lot of strife between absence. And I also might mention that if you have either your parents or older people that pass away and they still have real estate, just make sure that property's in a trust or it's spelled out who is going through descent is going to take the property over next. But that could be a big problem.
You're speaking in probate right now.
Well, yeah, try and provide probate or get around one to probate. Just kind of having your ducks in a row with the weapons.
It's kind of interesting because probate seems to be a really big deal now with the baby boomers and their parents leaving their property to them, and they may not. What do you call it when someone dies without a will? And test it.
Correct.
And we have been seeing a lot of those. And we have a couple of individuals right now that are not able to sell their parents' home because they passed away. So if you have questions on that, give us a call and let us help you with that. We do have a fantastic title company with attorneys. Tim's got experience in that, and we can certainly help you maneuver those waters as well.
I always advise, to get an attorney involved in something complicated. A good family law attorney or state attorney, it makes it a lot easier. It costs a little bit of it in the long run as well.
And they do have attorneys that work on a contingency basis if you guys need that or know someone that may need it. We do have a list of attorneys that will work with you. And I've been in the business for over 2 decades, and I've seen real estate agents come. I've seen them go. I've seen the good, the bad, and the very not so good. So I would concur that Tim, as a practicing attorney in Colorado, and his background as a real estate attorney, he's able to look out for your best interest more so than what most might be able to. And that's certainly a strong consideration when you're considering buying or selling your home.
I think it's just an additional comfort level. And I've certainly, my legal knowledge has helped a lot of people get around some things that might be big issues. And also, I have a good rapport with other agents, so I work well with agents on the other side of transactions. So,
Tim, you work in one of the larger RE/MAX offices in the Dallas-Fort area.
Yes, with RE/MAX, CFW Associates, we have 6 offices throughout the Metroplex, and we're the top RE/MAX franchise in Dallas.
And I work exclusively with Tim in the North Dallas County areas. Tim is really looking forward to assisting people that are looking for branch properties and large lot homes up in. He can even go down into Becca Smith County. I'm originally from Tyler, Texas, so I know the area extremely well. And so I think that Tim is really looking forward to getting his feet wet in our neck of the woods with regards to ranch type properties.
Another aspect in real estate I use commercial investment property, like strip malls, investment things like car washes, and just a good solid investment cash flow. Commercial properties, if that's what we pursue, and hopefully that what you look at is a cap rate, which is the return on the investment, and we try to get cap rates up in the 6 and 7% range. So that might be another area of interest.
And we can do financing for commercial properties, whether it be industrial or commercial. We have a great avenue for you on that as well. Tim, I really appreciate you being here with us today, and we will come back and circle back on more things. We look forward to working with you.
I will say that Sharon, I only exclusively use her company. She is awesome. She gets things closed sooner.
It's not a big deal.
She is a big deal. She is a true pro. And and has just does amazing work.
Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
Until next time.